when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers. Good morning, viewers. It is 7 a.m. and welcome to the Tobago Updates Morning Show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. As we continue to give God thanks for life, I am Julian Skeet.
And I am Rhea Richardson George, and this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning to you, Tobago. Good morning, Trinidad. Those of you viewing in the Caribbean, and those of you, same thing happening here.
Certainly indeed. We're welcoming each and every one of you. As Rhea would say, in good energy and spirit. Rhea, it's Friday.
It is Friday.
Rhea, it's Friday.
Indeed.
All right, folks, it's Friday, the 7th of July. We're just into that 7th month of the year. I trust that things are going as you have planned it. And if it isn't, now is the time to be resorting to that plan B, etc., to ensure that you have things on the right track for a successful year. All right, viewers, at this point, we prepare to head on into news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Julian and Rhea. I am Candace Jackson, and here is your news in 90 seconds for Friday, 7th July, 2023. Secretary of Infrastructure, Quarries and Urban Development, Trevor James, accused the Environment Management Agency of acting as an agent of political war. Speaking on last night's full disclosure, James was suspicious of the EMA's attempt to stop a road construction project from Chauvin due to environmental concerns. According to James, it is an attempt to set a precedent that may hinder the progress of the Scarborough redevelopment project. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Education released a national code of hairstyles across all schools in Trinidad and Tobago. The code follows an incident at Trinity College where several male students were prevented from attending their graduation ceremony due to their hairstyles. According to a press release, the ministry stated that following research and discussions, they amended the National School Code of Conduct to include a National School Hair Code. It allows for students to wear locks, twists, plaits, afros, and cornrow hairstyles. Additionally, female students have permission to wear hair extensions, including weaves and braids. And finally, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley was appointed to lead a CARICOM subcommittee on cricket in the West Indies. This recent development came after the men's West Indies team failed to qualify for the ICC World Cup for the first time in history. Rowley, who declared himself a passionate West Indies fan, said the decline of West Indies cricket captured the attention of CARICOM. Chairman of CARICOM and Prime Minister of Dominica, Roosevelt Skerritt, stated that the subcommittee was tasked with meeting with the WICB president and devising a plan to restore West Indies cricket to its former glory. And that was the news in 90 seconds.
The news in 90 seconds is brought to you by Flow, working for you on Tobago's newest fiber network.
Tobago, after freeness is more speed and better TV. Get a free Samsung smartphone and free installation, plus 200 megabits per second, Paramount Plus, and more for only $299 with a select 200 plan from Flow. Visit online at discoverflow.co today.
Thank you very much there, viewers. We just had the news in 90 seconds. And at this point, we're preparing to head on into our birthday segment, sponsored by KFC.
This is your birthday shoutouts on Tobago Updates, sponsored by KFC.
And this morning we get started with Shomari Hector, wishing you a happy birthday and God's continued blessings coming from the entire Tobago Updates family.
Happy birthday, Shamari. And we've got Ronaldo Martino celebrating a birthday. Ronaldo, happy birthday going out to you, and lots of love from all of us here at Tobago Updates.
On screen, we have Perletta Johnny Williams, and wishing you a happy birthday and God continued blessings coming from the entire Tobago Updates family.
Curleen McCall Woods out there working at TN Tech. Happy birthday going out to you, Curleen, and lots of love from all of us, from my family to you, and from all of us here at Tobago Updates.
Birthday shoutouts on Tobago Updates, sponsored by KFC.
From the
the experts that created the Zinger sandwich comes the KFC Crispy Barbecue Zinger.
The only one I see is you.
Cheddar cheese, crispy onions, the most delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken, and barbecue sauce. Get ready for a whole new level of flavor.
Yes, viewers, welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. Ria, how was the morning? How was that evening? How has it been for you?
It's been pretty cool, Julian. Pretty hot during the days, but pretty cool, in the evenings. But it's been quite an interesting time that we've been living in within recent times. We see a lot of changes taking place, particularly with the weather. Apart from politics, particularly with the weather. So we see climate change has really caused a number, has really done a number on us. We see some hotter days these days. So we encourage persons to drink a lot of water and as much as possible stay out of the sun.
Indeed, very good advice, particularly on a Friday, heading on into the weekend, and we look forward to that kind of rest and relaxation. But we're interesting in the news. I heard Candice speak to it, and I can't wait to get Marcus' perspective on it. You keep hearing about these glory days for West Indies cricket, but they seem to be more and more distant in time, for those who follow. I'm not as passionate as many would be, I support and so on, but it just seems like these glory days that we reference seem to be going even further and further, in terms of those times that West Indies once enjoyed. But we continue to hope, for that growth and development in terms of West Indies cricket.
Rightly so. And I heard Candice laughing upset, laughing in agreement, But certainly we can get Marcus's perspective on that. He is our sports guy. If my father were here, my father would have a thing or two to say about what's been happening with West Indies cricket. He does not miss a game. In fact, he will stay up until 2:00. Watching cricket.
That's my dad as well. Out there ensuring that they miss nothing in the mix. In fact, Dad and my grandmother. Yeah. I feel like it's part of the pastime as well for the Skeets family in terms of us following the sport indeed. But very quickly this morning, we want to also highlight an announcement. The World of Work Program 2023 as posted and publicized via the Division of Community Development, Youth Development and Sport. The World of Work Program 2023, hosted by the Department of Youth Development, preparing youth for the world of work, open to young persons ages 16 to 18. Ability to have training sessions, interviews, hands-on work experience for the July-August period. Registration is open now. The link is available on the Division's Facebook page, and that's the link for persons to register. Limited spaces available, and the deadline is July 11th, 2023. So if you know a young person that has that, you definitely want to have them engaged in learning these skill sets and beginning to be exposed to it. Ages 16 to 18 years, this is the opportunity. The World of Work Program 2023. Contact information for the Division 639-4818, extension 2005 and 2006. And remember, you can check out the Division of Community Development, Youth Development and Sports on the Facebook page. There's the link for registration, and limited spaces available, Ria. So they've got to do it quite early and get that opportunity right now. All right, viewers, at this point, we head on over to Tobago in Focus.
Mediation is used as an alternative to litigation through the use of an impartial moderator and communication and negotiation techniques. The Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection established its mediation unit in 2009 and has steadily expanded. The unit, equipped with 2 certified mediators, has since settled several matters, including landlord and tenant issues, merchant-customer disputes, property and land, parenting, and even issues regarding the running of traditional susus. Assistant Coordinator at the Mediation Unit, Carol Spencer Edwards, further explains.
We deal with family and relationship disputes, neighborhood conflicts, community disputes, juvenile conflicts. So the range of issues are there, and as I said, we try to offer persons that option as against going to the court.
Ms. Spencer Edwards revealed a high success rate between 70 and 75%, noting that a large part of the unit's success lies with the process, as persons are allowed to speak freely in a safe and comfortable environment.
Quite often the issues that they deal with or that they're dealing with is not out of the ballpark. It's just that maybe sometimes not able to sit and express themselves, and sometimes you need somebody there to say, here's what, let's start with, or hold up, give her a minute, or hold up, give him a minute, you know.
The recent addition of a therapeutic counseling unit manned by 8 counselors has further expanded services, including a crisis hotline, parenting workshop, grief counseling, life skill coaching, marriage counseling, and learning enrichment programs. Services can be accessed through its walk-in services or by referral.
Viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. In this segment, we are chatting with Alicia Edwards, and she's the executive chairman of the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited. And this morning, we're speaking specifically, don't treat Tobago as a stepchild. Equality for Tobago on the air bridge. Good morning and welcome.
And good morning to your viewing audience.
Excellent. All right. We're happy to have you on with us this morning. So as we begin the conversation, quite recently, we would have had once again yourself and a number of others appear before the Joint Select Committee. And it would appear that in the mix of questions being asked, you did not hesitate to use the opportunity to put into the national space the continued concerns and challenges as it relates to the air bridge and CAL. So let's start from that perspective. What has specifically the tourism agency been up to in terms of its efforts as it relates to CAL as a critical stakeholder in the work that you do?
Okay, thank you so much. I want to start by just putting everything into context. A lot of times we think of the GSC as a punitive body, but it's really a good and essential part of a democratic arrangement where funds are given to statutory boards and there is a public performance appraisal of sorts for that organization. But it is also for me, and I went into the GSC sitting, I saw it as an opportunity to talk not only about the work that we were doing and giving account about that, but to talk about the challenge, the resource, and the other challenges that we face in this space. In tourism, 2 critical things are transportation and funding for marketing. Because tourists do not come on a magic carpet. They have to fly or they have to come by boat, cruise or whatever else. And transportation, neither air nor sea transportation into Tobago is controlled by TTAL or the Tobago House of Assembly. So there must be a level of coordination and synergy. And it was from that perspective that those concerns were raised. Air transport has always been difficult, not just for visitors, but for locals. And so it was important for me to insert at that point the continued, because they are continuing for more than 50, 75, 100 years, the continued difficulties that we and our visitors have in accessing this space in a reasonable and also a confident manner. TTAL has, as all other teams before, we have continued the conversation with Caribbean Airlines. We have been meeting with them regularly. They are aware of our issues. We have also been talking to the Airport Authority, the Civil Aviation Authority, because all of those entities come together to regulate what happens in the airspace and in the air transportation arrangement. Those organizations do not fall under the purview of the Ministry of Tourism. Some fall under the Ministry of Transportation, others fall under the Ministry of Tourism, of Finance. And so there is need for some sort of coordination, right? Realignment or coordination to ensure that issues of tourism and transportation and air services and all of that are dealt with in a way that benefits both destinations, not just Tobago, but Trinidad as well.
So, and based on what you're saying, we saw and listened to the GSC, and I could not help, even as someone that feels very strongly, residing and operating here on the island and having to be back and forth, that there was some sense of not a full appreciation on the part of those who primarily reside in Trinidad. And I want to be specific to say, reside and operate out of Port of Spain, Trinidad, to have an appreciation for what might be those broader issues in Trinidad, even in those outlying areas, and even further, the connection with Tobago. Are we at a point where we have got to place greater emphasis on the need for representation from citizens that understand and appreciate the concerns, and therefore we can better contribute to the solutions at the policy making level in terms of CAL, because the cry and the call goes out there constantly from several angles, but still we are yet to see meaningful solutions. They may attempt things, and I say without a shadow of a doubt, perhaps to look a little good and to look as though you're responding to the issue. But are we at a point where we certainly need greater players in there, specifically out of those who experience these kinds of challenges and are within these agencies and organizations and so on, to make a greater contribution at that level in finding solutions?
I want to answer that in two ways. I know and I'm sure that there is always Tobagonian representation on the board of CAL and the other entities that make those decisions. But separate and apart from just transportation, there has been a national unwillingness and a lack of full appreciation for the concerns of Tobago people in a number of areas. And it's all about you need to walk in the shoes of a man in order to appreciate what the man is going through. And so Tobagonians and people who have intimate knowledge and who operate on Tobago, they have a different appreciation for our challenges. Some of our repeat visitors, some of our reps and tour operators who are very familiar with the destination are a lot more empathetic and articulate about the challenges of getting to Tobago than our counterparts in Trinidad. Because remember, our counterparts in Trinidad see Tobago as a getaway destination. And because they have planned those getaways 3 or 4 or 5 months in advance and secured their flights and everything else, they think that there is some difficulty. They don't understand why Tobago people cannot get through with the same ease that they do. But remember that when they want to go for medical services, or they need to take a class at the university, or they need to do some business in town, they jump in a car. There is no road between Tobago and Trinidad for us to do that. There are lots of vehicles in Tobago, maybe more per capita than anywhere than in Trinidad, but there is no bridge, there is no road for us to go. And so we are totally dependent on the air and the sea services. So CAL's posturing, and that it is really an economic issue and the route is unviable, does not take into account that the historical arrangement between Trinidad and Tobago since 1889 has not allowed or facilitated a third option for Tobagonians to move off Tobago. Neither has it made adequate arrangements for Tobago to be more self-sufficient within the space. Administratively and legislatively, how we have set up things is that Tobagonians must go to Trinidad for essential things. Very few of us go for leisure. And all of that comes into the mix, but I think that appreciation does not come through. So it is part of my fiduciary duty in the agency to talk about that. But that conversation is not just being had at the level of Tobago and Trinidad. At the recently concluded CARICOM discussions, the Premier of Dominica, who is the chairman of CARICOM, talked and he admonished leaders to work towards this single movement treaty, or to operationalize the single movement treaty that they would have signed. And why do you think he wants to do that? I think there is a growing recognition within the region that Caribbean people can be the Caribbean market for tourism, for trade, for cultural exchange, etc., can be broader and wider and more developed if we solve the issue of movement between the islands. And so the cries of Tobago in terms of movement and being able to move freely and affordably and reliably between Trinidad, those cries are being echoed on a larger regional level in terms of movement between the islands. And that will benefit all of us, tourism including. So it's a difficult arrangement, but it's a conversation that has to be had. And I was very grateful for the opportunity of the GSC to do that.
All right, excellent. And from where we sit, we want to see that certainly the national attention being brought to it. And I want to indicate that, folks, we got to call on a number of our stakeholders and entities to really ensure that that representation and the voice is heard, because ultimately, you could not have said it any better. From where we sit, we have an appreciation and understanding, because traveling between the islands for us is a must, and not just an opportunity where we occasionally, may visit from time to time. All right, so we got to leave it there for this morning. We want to thank you very much, Lisa Edwards, Executive Chairman of TTAL, for joining us here on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. All right, viewers, treating with some of the topical issues and concerns. And imagine we only started there with Carl. We haven't even touched on the sea bridge just yet. Again, concerns with connecting the islands, Tobago and Trinidad. And we look forward to improvements in terms of that progression with the relationship between Trinidad and Tobago. All right, viewers, at this point, we're preparing to head on into our next interview with Chantal Lindsay. And she's a cast member for the O'Shea Benefit Concert. So we look forward to those upcoming discussions. A quick shout out here this morning on the live with us, Rambo Elias, Julia Brown, Alvin, Big Doggy Douglas. All right, Auntie Dora in the mix this morning, Lisa James, QK Melville, Pearl Murray Beard, Sean Toppin, Godfrey Moore, Terry Trinidad. Good morning to each and every one of you. And viewers, we want to thank you so much for continuing to choose the Tobago Updates Morning Show, and to remind you that this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Come one, come all. It's time to join in the Tobago Heritage Festival 2023. Homage. All are we, and all are who we be. To Tobago. Indulge in the awesomeness that is embodied in the spirit of Tobago at the 36th Tobago Heritage Festival. Celebrate a rich, vibrant, hypnotic showcase of our cultural legacy. Yes, from July 21st to August 1st, 2023. Take the island tour. Sample the sumptuous variety of local indigenous delicacies. Enjoy the recreation of old-time village life. Dance to the drum. Feel the rhythm of steel pan. Experience the way of life, languages, and oral traditions. Be part of the journey to our we heritage, honoring our past, celebrating our present, and inspiring our future. Relive our unique culture. Join in the preservation of the heritage of we island of Tobago.
Dance Ensemble Tobago presents the return July 8th, 2023 from 5 p.m. Dance Sport Championship and Dancing with Caribbean Stars 10th edition at the Shore Park Complex, representing for 2023 THA Assemblyman Natisha Charles Pantin. Rise and Shine Morning Show host Brother B. Former host of Let's Talk Tobago, Avian Parks, Lady Morge of Pulse 89.5 FM, Cara Vaughan of Freedom 106.5 FM, Michelle Borrell of 107.7 FM. For more information, contact Tobago Dance Sport at gmail.com or Miss N White 772-9049 or Miss N Dick 340-5758. Admission only $150. Children only $75 at the door. Tickets available at D&D Jeweler, Tobago United Corporate, Milford 24 Gas Station, Crown Point, Tobago, and Dance Ensemble class members. After party from 10 p.m. till midnight. Don't you miss this one.
Put a smile on your face.
Viewers, welcome back this morning to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. We are chatting this morning about a fundraiser, a benefit concert for O'Shea George, my eldest daughter. Here to chat with us this morning is Chantal Lindsay, one of the cast members for the O'Shea George's benefit concert. Chantal, good morning, and it's good to have you on the program.
Good morning, Tobago.
Now, I want us to get some things out there, and I'm happy that you're able to chat with us. In terms of O'Shea's addition, we're not putting too much information out there, but there are persons who believe because we say benefit concert
Yes.
that she is at death's door, and we want to dispel that this morning.
Absolutely.
And I dare say in the name of Jesus.
In the name of Jesus.
All right, so we want to dispel that, but she is in need of medical support,
Yes.
medical assistance. So what can you tell our viewers this morning without giving too much of her personal information? What can you tell our viewers this morning?
Well, she is not on her deathbed. Thank you, Jesus. She's recovering and recovering well. The benefit concert is to help because obviously she would have been out of work ever since the incident. And so it's to help with basic needs as well as the therapy sessions that she would be taking to recover as well. But she is recovering well.
She is recovering,
Yes.
and that is in recovery process.
Yes.
And there are some things that she would have discovered quite recently that would the expenses would be pretty high. She has therapy to do at least 2 or 3 times per week.
Yes.
All right. So friends and sisters like you and Hannah, Laborde, Paulson, and Melanie, James, and others
Yes.
Would have gotten together or joined together to put out this benefit concert. Tell us about the concert, when it's happening, and how persons can support.
Well, it's this Saturday, July the 8th. It's going to be at the Mongrace Open Bible Church. It starts at 5 p.m. It's $50 for entry. We're going to have ministers from across Tobago who I must say a special thank you to them because there were no questions asked. We just told them what we're doing it for, who we're doing it for, and the only question was when and where. So we really want to thank you all for your support. So you can support by just coming out and paying $50 for entry. You're going to be ministered to by Donald Job. We have Axis, the band. We're going to have the Burning Bush crew, myself. We're going to have Prince Nicholas. We're going to have dance and my ministry there as well. And we're going to have refreshments and food on sale as well. If you can't make it to the event, no problem. You can make a direct deposit to her account. And as a matter of fact, she would have indicated that persons would have anonymously would have been sending money already. So I want to thank you for those who would have given to her and for those who would be giving eventually. So you can send your contribution directly to her account. But we would love for you to come out to the event on Saturday and just fellowship with us, have a good time. We're going to be having a time of prayer as well for her. And we want to extend this invitation for those who may have family members who may not be well, or yourself, if you may not be well, come out and receive prayer for healing, because that's what we're believing for. And we believe that healing is what the motive is for the event, and we're going to be praying for healing. So if you want healing, or anyone that you know, just come out and receive healing in Jesus' name. That's right. It is the children's bread. Yes. In addition, there are persons who would have contacted me asking, is this event going to be held in Trinidad? So I didn't have an answer for that. Is this event going to be held in Trinidad as well? I think that's a conversation to have. That's a conversation to have. All right. But for those of you who are in Trinidad and want to assist, again, the numbers are there. So persons can send their contributions or their donations in. But more than that, Ocean wants to have the names of the persons who would have blessed her or contributed to the cause because she wants to send a personal thank you there. After. Now, some persons would have sent in contributions to her account and she does not know who they are. Exactly. So if you did, you can message me, you can call me, or Chantel or any one of the other persons, and you can give them your name. Say, look, I sent in XY. She wants to be able to say thank you at the end thereof, or even in advance. We believe in thanking in advance. Yes, definitely. Okay? So, again, it's happening. And where can persons pick up these tickets? Where can they purchase these tickets? Unfortunately, we weren't able to get the tickets on time. But you could just come right at the door and just come into the event, pay $50 and get into the event. All right. Yeah. Okay. And it's happening again this Saturday. That's tomorrow at the Mongrace Open Bible Standard Church. So again, we want to say thank you to all the ministers who have put their hands to this event. We say thank you to all the persons who would have called, messaged, WhatsApp, email, whatever it is. Prayed. Prayed. That's right, prayed.
And that's where it's at, praying for her even during this time. So we say thank you to all those persons who, are making this event a possibility. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chantel Lindsay, Melanie James, Hannah Laborde Paulson. We say thank you to all you guys, to Osha's family and friends. We say thank you on behalf of us to you, on behalf of all of you. We say thank you as well. But we're going to leave it there for this time, viewers. We've got lots more coming up, though. We head on over into our sports segment, and Marcus Daniel is going to be taking us through lots of great and exciting things coming up on the sports segment for today, Friday. So remember, viewers, share the live, share the live, share the live.
Inner Health, number 13B, Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago, with over 25 years experience offering services in and not limited to microscopic blood analysis, reflexology, and the sale of a wide range of organic herbal products used to supplement thyroid, lymphatic, heart, kidney, and brain health, and the male and female reproductive systems. Come and chat with us. Remember, your health is your wealth.
Are you flood ready? Review and update insurance coverage. Install floodgates and barriers. Create a family flood plan. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. TATIL, where people are people.
Right now, Tobagonians are just scurrying down to Bonaccord, right in Stobie Local Road. You know why? To come down and shop at Authentic Builders General Hardware, the only hardware store in Tobago that is giving you guys Trinidad prices. So for instance, such as steel, 1/2 and 5/8, $7,895. 5/8 construction ply for $260. Every single thing that you will need to do your home renovation or start your new construction, we have it right here. And to get your quotation, it's very easy. Just WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will do your free WhatsApp quotation for you.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Hey, welcome back, and of course, thanks for staying with us on the Tobago Update Television. And of course, we are over in the sports segment. Whoop, yes, indeed. And thank you so much. Of course, we have been joined on set this morning by some karate people. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. You look lovely in your red this morning. And, I decided to wear kind of red and black.
Yes,
matching the executive
up.
feel as well. So of course, we're talking karate. Allow you guys to introduce yourselves, and of course, the viewing public.
All right. Well, good morning to the viewing public, Trinidad and Tobago. My name is Sensei Danny Roberts. What we are here to speak about is actually our camp that is coming up in the next week. It's called Camp Karate. And why we are having Camp Karate is the first camp of this kind where martial arts is concerned. Martial arts has been on the decline in Tobago, but however, our goal and the mandate that has been given to us by the world governing body, because we're the representative for PCAT, WACO, and WACO International. So we have a mandate to develop the sports in Tobago. And so because of that mandate, we have to start doing certain things. So we are starting with Camp Karate. And the opportunity with Camp Karate is that we're going to give you the chance to train over the summer. And we're going to have a tournament at the end of the summer. And in November, we're going to have a world championship where we have the international judges and other persons from Trinidad and maybe from the Caribbean and so on coming into Tobago to participate in that tournament. The persons will have the opportunity to make the Trinidad and Tobago national team. Back then when I used to do martial arts, the opportunity wasn't easy to do it for the fun. But now there's actually a serious aspect where the art form is concerned. So we're, going to be trying to develop that aspect. It's a really a good discipline. They claim to be the most disciplined sports. And so that is what we're about doing at this time, developing the sport.
Fantastic. And your role?
All right. So my name is Minerva Kobe. My role is PRO for Tobago Martial Arts Academy. And I am also the team manager for the kids that we have at Tobago Martial Arts.
Yeah, so you do karate, you're not you're not into
No,
the
no, I don't do karate.
Yeah, and Sensei, I want to get back to you, right? In terms of, you mentioned karate and martial arts. I was of the opinion that karate is probably different to the martial arts.
Well, all sports fall, any kind of combat sports fall under martial arts.
Right.
So it could be boxing, wrestling, whatever, they fall under martial arts. But there's so many different aspects in the art form.
Right.
The aspect that WACO focuses on is sports martial arts, katas committee, and then they start continuous sparring, and then after continuous sparring, it goes into kickboxing.
Right.
And that's the Olympics part of the sport. All of the Olympics recognized.
So what are we going to be focusing on this camp?
This camp is going to be more of the sports karate part, the developmental part of the sports karate. They'll be doing katas and they'll be doing committee, right? So that's what we'll be focusing on the camp. And of course, we'll be working with the discipline aspect because we focus heavily on that.
Yeah. And how would you respond to persons out there thinking that karate and martial arts is a dangerous sport to get involved in?
Well, all sports are contact.
Because there's that perception that karate is just fighting, but as you mentioned earlier, it's one that brings discipline.
Right. I'm quite sure, and you will appreciate that you have heard that most of us know that there are martial arts on the island.
Yeah.
And that should speak for itself because you hear about it, but you never hear the people who are involved are always in some battle on the street,
right?
And they're always fighting down the place. So that should answer that question.
They call it free fighting.
Right.
That's
the
kill.
people who get involved in that type of thing is persons who don't understand the danger of fighting because we understand that when you get into a fight, you could injure someone, you could injure yourself, or worse off, you could lose a limb, or you could come out dead. So we don't engage in that way. We will try to de-escalate, we'll talk, and we try to develop that discipline that when you're upset and you feel you're getting upset, it's time to walk.
Okay. And I want to get her back in. So tell us the locations for the camp, the time of the camp, also what the persons are targeting as well.
Okay, so our times for the camp is on a Monday and a Thursday. At Betsy's Hope. Wednesdays and Fridays Golden Lane and Mount St. George. And Tuesdays and Thursdays is
Monday and Thursdays Scarborough.
Oh, Mondays and Thursdays Scarborough.
And Wednesday and Fridays Betsy's Hope.
And in terms of time?
4:30 to 5:30.
Okay. How can someone sign up for the camp?
All right, so we have our registration numbers here. The numbers we could call 302-1908 or 613-8200. And we have a representative there that is going to take all the information and going to register the kids at that, or the persons who are interested at that point in time.
Is there age group that a particular age group that you are targeting?
We start from 5 and up, but we do take in some 4-year-olds according to when we do our assessment to see how they follow directions and if they're good at directions. So there's some smart 4-year-olds that will follow directions well. We'll start at that age group. But just to let you know, this is really something that persons should try to get involved with. The reason why we spread the camp out like that is because all these different areas will be coming together to compete for bragging rights. That's the first thing. So they're going to have a bragging rights with this thing. So if someone feel that they like the art form and they want to get involved, they just want to experiment with it, this is the opportunity for them to get involved.
So you're confident that this camp is going to be well subscribed?
I think so because we are getting a lot of phone calls already, and we just start advertising it, and we might have to have a cutoff date and a cutoff time because we are giving a free uniform. By you signing up, you're getting a free karate uniform with white belt. So it's gonna probably have to have a cutoff with it. So I will advise you call between now and next week so you can actually get in. Because we can't take everybody.
Yeah. So is there anything else your organization is involved in?
Yes, we are actually involved in we also do the adults here. I am heavily involved in self-defense. I teach, because I'm an international trained person, so I teach from police, because there are different aspects like passive restraint, how to restrain someone without hurting them or hurting yourself. I also teach women self-defense. I actually teach boxing and all that good stuff, you know, so you can definitely learn a lot from us. And we work with the community, we work with the police youth clubs. If there's any organization that wants us to work with them, we actually work with them. Because I will tell you what I've been observing, I know that just about a month ago, we had a spike in violence.
Yes.
And there's a need for all organizations such as mine to get on board to try to work with our youth, because what we are trying to do, because we're Tobagonian first. And so even though we learn the art form outside, what we're trying to do is to keep some of our values and our main core values within the art form. You know, when I was growing up, I used to tote water, sweep the yard, do little chores, do little stuff. But now, you know, we are in a different place, a different time. So we're trying to keep some of that within our youths, because to try to keep the spike down at the violence and keep them occupied, because a mind that is not occupied is a mind that somebody has to come and influence and occupy, you know.
Listen, out of time this morning, I want to thank you so much for being here with us. I really hope that, you know, persons, you know, seek your advice and join the camp. It will belong to the benefits of yourself and, of course, for Tobago. So, Minova and Sensi, thank you so much for being with us here on Tobago Updates Television.
Thank you.
I'll try to see how many persons I can get to sign up to that camp. Karate isn't dangerous. Martial arts isn't dangerous.
It's not dangerous. And let me just say congratulations on the efforts of Tobago Update
to include
to
sports.
actually move sports and move into a television station. It's really good. I'm excited. I'm happy.
Most definitely, I know they would appreciate that congratulations there.
All right.
So viewers, we're going to take a short break. Remember, it's a sporting morning here on the Tobago Updates, and we're also live on Amplia 102. That's your channel 102. When we come back, we're going to be talking CPL cricket with Mr. James Saunders.
Jimmy's Holiday Resorts has 1, 2, and 3 bedroom, fully self-contained apartments located at the heart of Crown Point. Minutes walk to the popular beaches, restaurants, bars, and the airport. Enjoy our amazing amenities such as fully equipped apartments, complete with Wi-Fi, AC, TV, and a pool, and a mini-mart on the compound. Call 639-8292 or 8929. Jimmy's Holiday Resorts is your family's home away from home.
Are you flood ready? Recycle and properly dispose of large waste. Avoid sweeping yard clippings or trash into drains. Plant trees to avoid soil erosion. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. Tatil, where people are people.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Tobago Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Come one, come all. It's time to join in the Tobago Heritage Festival 2023. Homage. All are we and all are who we be. To Tobago. Indulge in the awesomeness that is embodied in the spirit of Tobago at the 36th Tobago Heritage Festival. Celebrate a rich, vibrant, hypnotic showcase of our cultural legacy. Yes, from July 21st to August 1st, 2023. Take the island tour. Sample the sumptuous variety of local indigenous delicacies. Enjoy the recreation of old-time village life. Dance to the drum. Feel the rhythm of steel pan. Experience the way of life, languages, and oral traditions. Be part of the journey to our we heritage, honoring our past, celebrating our present, and inspiring our future. Relive our unique culture. Join in the preservation of the heritage of we island of Tobago.
Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates. Real questions and honest conversations with the sole aim of keeping you fully in the know. Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes for breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Hi, welcome back, and of course, thanks for staying with us here on Tobago Updates Television. A sporting morning, just waiting for James Saunders to link up with us to chat about CPL. And I mean, if you weren't aware, TV6, they're going to be the home for the CPL this year. James Saunders is going to be playing a big part in that. We had a really good discussion on Wednesday night on the Cricket Debater show, talking about West Indies cricket mostly. And I'm sure you guys would have also saw or read where CARICOM, Dr. Rowley, our Prime Minister, would have mentioned that he's going to be chairing a committee to try to rescue West Indies cricket. I'm not too sure how they're going to rescue West Indies cricket. I've said it many times. The players have to take some responsibility in terms of showing that they are loyal to representing West Indies. I've played cricket, and I can tell you, once you see I go on that field, it's serious business. I represented Kingham Monaco Sports Club. I played in England. Once I put on a uniform, It doesn't matter if it's free or getting a stipend or whatever it is. I representing very hard, and I mean I can't say the same for what I've seen of West Indies at the current ICC World Cup qualifiers. And it pains all the fans, not only in the Caribbean but around the world, who just love seeing West Indies play, and to not qualify for a major World Cup. I mean, it's heart-wrenching. I mean, there are so many terminologies used to describe the performances of the West Indies team, and West Indies not qualifying by a lot of leading players and commentators around the world. And now I'm seeing Dr. Rowley and other CARICOM heads. They are trying to see how best they can get involved to help rescue West Indies cricket. But, you know, the ICC, that's the International Cricket Council, they have said it before, you know, governments around the world getting involved in, you know, directly involved in cricket. That's a no-no. So it's left to be seen how Dr. Rowley and the other CARICOM heads will get involved in trying to rescue the West Indies cricket. But at least they are trying their very best to see how they can get West Indies playing how they would have played some years back. I mean, way before my time, like some Viv Richards and Gary Sobers, even Brian Lara. When I started following cricket, Brian Lara was basically my hero, and I still follow him, even though he is not actively playing. But you know, he's now mentoring the West Indies Test team. I'm really happy to see that he's back in the fold. I saw they got Carl Hooper. Some believe that he's a West Indian legend. Yeah, call me a lollipop bowler, but you know, you're not there yet, but yeah, you're all right. You know, so that's a step in the right direction, getting the legends back involved. But I think that in their time, they had a different motivation to what's motivating the players now. I mean, going up against England and Australia, I mean, in those days, we had apartheid and all these different things. Those guys were very motivated. When they put on that maroon cap, they go out there and representing the entire region. And they did it without thinking about money. I mean, I saw Tendulkar in a recent interview, and he said that to this day, when he played for India, he doesn't know how much he got paid. You know, and that's pride. You know, he represented India and he knew as well that every time he goes to the crease, the whole of India, all 1 billion of them, they out there supporting Sachin Tendulkar, and he knew the responsibility that he had and the impact that he had on a nation and of course the world. Because I mean, I love seeing Tendulkar bat as well. Just like I love seeing Brian Charles Lara. So we just have to bring that pride back. You can't coach it. The players themselves, they have to have that pride that they know not only representing you know, the territorial board or themselves, they're representing the region. And every time we get up, every morning, we as fans get up and we watch West Indies play. You know, we want to see them win. And even though, if it is that you're not victorious, we just want to see that pride and that passion in the players. I know definitely me being there on the management team, selectors, presidents, whatever it is, I think there has to be some change. And Darren Sammy, the new coach, I believe that, you know, for him to really chart his course, he needs to get some new players that would play for him. I believe Jason Holder, Johnson Charles, even Shamar Brooks, them can now come back with their regional boards or their regional teams and try to get the youngsters, you know, playing in a particular direction. But in terms of the West Indies team, the West Indies senior team, I think it's time for them to move on. Still holding on for James Saunders. You know, he's a busy man, and we're going to be chatting about CPL cricket, and the CPL will start next month. And a lot of persons, no matter what, how West Indies playing, people are still tuning to CPL cricket because of the excitement. I can tell you, I normally go to the training post stand. Sometimes I can't tell you what to score or who would have been victorious. It's just a vibe with CPL cricket. And then too, the CPL cricket, you know, a mixture of regional stars and international stars. That in itself, I don't believe, you know, it's a true reflection of what talent we have here in the Caribbean. I remember when we had Stanford T20, and you saw the likes of Nevis playing, St. Kitts playing. In fact, Tobago, we were actually championing a cause for Tobago to play separately to Trinidad. So Trinidad would have had a team, Tobago would have had a team, because we have our cricketers here in Tobago, but the pool in Trinidad is always difficult to get our players on the national team. the Trinidad and Tobago team. So we were actually pushing that agenda, that Cricket Association, to have a Tobago team participate in that that Stanford T20 tournament. Obviously, you know the story of Stanford, but I think that he would have actually pushed a movement in the Caribbean. He would have made a lot of the players millionaires. Kyron Pollard, even our own, and even still would have been in and around that Trinidad and Tobago team when Stanford was around. So with that tournament, we are seeing territories like St. Kitts, Nevis playing separately, Antigua, Barbuda, and a number of standalone territories playing. And then we would have seen the real nature of a true nature of West Indies cricket and T20 players coming out. And that would have created not only wealth for a number of the players, but would have given the West Indies selectors the opportunity to really see who are the players that can represent West Indies at the T20 level. But with the CPL and the international stars involved and franchise type cricket, obviously the franchises will want to try to win and of course to pay back their financiers. So I believe that you really need, outside of the CPL cricket, we need a regional T20 tournament. Just as we have a regional T20, regional 50 overs and regional 4 days, we need that regional T20 tournament if it is that we have to really get the true essence of our T20, West Indies T20 team. And we saw the last T20 World Cup, we didn't make it to the Super 12. In fact, we had to go through the qualifying stages, then we got into the main draw, and then we got knocked out in the first round. So we're just not getting our best players or more committed players to play for our regional T20. Next year we are going to be hosting a T20 World Cup in the Caribbean, of course, in the USA and also in Canada. So I'm hoping that more attention will be placed on really getting our better T20 players representing the West Indies. Because we're at home, and you know when you're home, Balaka Patong, you want to represent and you want to put on a show. You want to be one of those teams that you host and you beat. Let them say your team to win, but we should know our territory, and no team should come here and beat us. You saw Zimbabwe in that ICC World Cup qualifiers. The crowd, they showed up. They didn't qualify, but I believe it's a resurgence of Zimbabwe's cricket. They have invested a lot in the younger players, and they've nearly qualified. And congratulations to the Netherlands and Sri Lanka. They are going to be joining the other 8 nations in the World Cup later this year in India. As I mentioned before, West Indies, we're not going to be there, but it's an opportunity for us to rebuild in the next 4 years. The likes of Alec Atenes and Casey Carty and our very own Joshua James. Joshua James would have played for West Indies under 19 in the under 19s. He's now playing with Jamaica Talawas in the CPL. He's also a West Indies emerging player. Played with Clarkwood this year. Got 100 against the big Queen's Park Cricket Club with Sunil Narayan and all those other guys in that team. So definitely he has a talent, and I believe that he should be in and amongst that Trinidad and Tobago team, and also try his very best to get onto the West Indies senior team. So it's about unearthing the talent in every corner. You have to get the talent out, get the pool widened, and not just look at the players who are playing for the franchises around the world. That's just singular. We need to get all the players involved, go through a camp, not only physically, but mentally. And I believe that a lot of us in the Caribbean, we're just not thinking the game properly. We're not strategizing, and we're just playing on pure talent. What we're going to do now, take a short break, and hopefully we get James Saunders in just after the break. Stay tuned.
Are you flood ready? Monitor trusted sources for info. Wear protective gear when you clean up. Contact your insurance provider to assess the damage. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. TATIL, where people are people.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your nice car get damaged bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider TATIL is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I
tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. If sickness catch you off guard, I tell them never ever worry. If times fall on you real hard, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Are you looking for a place for your loved ones? Heavenly Care welcomes you. Located at Northside Road opposite Massey Motors, we offer a variety of services. These include doctor visitations, social activities, geriatric care, and much more. Contact us at 277-9595 or visit us at Northside Road opposite Massey Motors. At Heavenly Care, compassion is at the heart of all care.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Tapicom. Welcome to the future. The only card you will need in a new world. Digital business cards. Safe, hassle-free. The future is here. Tapicom. New generation digital transfer. Digital time clock cards. Digital attendance cards. Air tags. Customized designs. Digital clothing tags. Digital pet tags. Tapicom. The future is here. Contact us today.
Come one, come all. It's time to join in the Tobago Heritage Festival 2023. Homage. All are we and all are who we be. To Tobago. Indulge in the awesomeness that is embodied in the spirit of Tobago at the 36th Tobago Heritage Festival. Celebrate a rich, vibrant, hypnotic showcase of our cultural legacy. Yes, from July 21st to August 1st, 2023. Take the island tour. Sample the sumptuous variety of local indigenous delicacies. Enjoy the recreation of old-time village life. Dance to the drum. Feel the rhythm of steel pan. Experience the way of life, languages, and oral traditions. Be part of the journey to our we heritage, honoring our past, celebrating our present, and inspiring our future. Relive our unique culture. Join in the preservation of the heritage of we island of Tobago.
Dance Ensemble Tobago presents the return July 8th, 2023 from 5 p.m. Dance Sport Championship and Dancing with Caribbean Stars 10th edition at the Shore Park Complex. Representing for 2023 THA Assemblyman Natisha Charles Pantin. Rise and Shine Morning Show host Brother B. Former host of Let's Talk Tobago, Avian Parks, Lady Morge of Pulse 89.5 FM, Cara Vaughan of Freedom 106.5 FM, Michelle Borrell of 107.7 FM. For more information, contact Tobago Dance Sport at gmail.com or Miss N. White 772-9049 or Miss N. Dick 340-5758. Admission only $150. Children only $75 at the door. Tickets available at D&D Jeweler, Tobago United Corporate, Milford 24 Gas Station, Crown Point, Tobago, and Dance Ensemble class members. After party from 10 p.m. till midnight. Don't you miss this one.
Inner Health, number 13B, Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago, with over 25 years experience, offering services in and not limited to microscopic blood analysis, reflexology, and the sale of a wide range of organic herbal products used to supplement thyroid, lymphatic, heart, kidney, and brain health, and the male and female reproductive systems. Come and chat with us. Remember, your health is your wealth.
Are you flood ready? Review and update insurance coverage. Install floodgates and barriers. Create a family flood plan. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. Tatil, where people are people.
Right now, Tobagonians are just currying down to Bonaccord, right in Stobie Local Road. You know why? To come down and shop at Authentic Builders General Hardware, the only hardware store in Tobago that is giving you guys Trinidad prices. So for instance, such as steel, 1/2 inch and 5/8, $7,895. 5/8 construction ply for $260. Every single thing that you will need to do your home renovation or start your new construction, we have it right here. And to get your quotation, it's very easy. Just WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will do your free WhatsApp quotation for you.
Jimmy's Holiday Resorts has 1, 2, and 3 bedroom, fully self-contained apartments located at the heart of Crown Point. Minutes walk to the popular beaches, restaurants, bars, and the airport. Enjoy our amazing amenities such as fully equipped apartments, complete with Wi-Fi, AC, TV, and a pool, and a mini-mart on the compound. Call 639-8292 or 8929. Jimmy's Holiday Resorts is your family's home away from home.
Are you flood ready? Recycle and properly dispose of large waste. Avoid sweeping yard clippings or trash into drains. Plant trees to avoid soil erosion. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. Tatil, where people are people.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates. Real questions and honest conversations with the sole aim of keeping you fully in the know. Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes for breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Are you looking for a place for your loved ones? Heavenly Care welcomes you. Located at Northside Road opposite Massey Motors, we offer a variety of services. These include doctor visitations, social activities, geriatric care, and much more. Contact us at 277-9595 or visit us at Northside Road opposite Massey Motors. At Heavenly Care, compassion is at the heart of all care.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Hi, viewers. Welcome back. And of course, I want to say thank you so much for staying with us. A bit of technical difficulties in linking up with James Saunders. We're going to try to sort it out and get to them next Friday. But we are joined once again on set by some basketball as well. One of them is a basketballer. I'll call you next one a coach. Good morning to you guys. And you see why I call one a basketballer and one a coach, right? So we have Atiba Dillion, a basketball coach, and we have Chris Roberts. Should I say a future NBA player? Should I say a future NBA player? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, Chris. So Chris would have gone out of the country, I think, recently at NBA Without Borders program, an NBA Without Borders program. And of course, we want to hear from Chris. How was the experience?
It was a great experience. Got to meet a lot of new people, coaches from the NBA, players from the NBA. Just got to see the level of basketball around the world from players within the Americas, and it was a great experience overall.
So you say you met NBA coaches and NBA players? Tell me about what NBA players and coaches.
Okay, so it had the players there were players who went through the camp,
right,
and now in the NBA.
Like who so?
You may know that, but a guy, he's a rookie last season. He made the all-rookie first team, Benedict Mathurin.
Right.
It's a guy, Chris Boucher, who plays with the Toronto Raptors. It's a Lou Dort, who plays with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Right.
And they were NBA coaches. They were Steph Curry's shooting coaches actually there.
Right.
The assistant coaches from throughout the league, and coaches from colleges, and coaches from FIBA.
Yeah. And what you took away from that camp?
I learned more. It was the camp for me was less about developing skill and more about developing like knowledge on the game and knowing when to do certain things and how to do certain things when you're playing basketball at a higher level. So that's what I took away. The ways in which to be able to read the game and understand what to do and when.
Yeah, and so can you take me through some of the sessions, like what you had to do in the days that you were there?
Okay, so the days were we went to the court for around 8:39 and we started. There were 6 stations by quite a it was 4 back-to-back courts.
Right.
And we were utilizing
this is in
3.
Canada, right? Canada,
Yeah, kind
right.
of. So we were utilizing 3 of them. So 6 baskets. And they split us up 3 groups of girls, 3 groups of boys. And then every for like a 15 minutes you'll be by one station where the coaches there will be doing, let's say, defense. Then you go to the next station where they'll be doing shooting, and next station will be finishing. And so you'll go around the 6 stations. Then after this every group has gone to each station. They'll split us up into teams, and I will play some games.
Oh, and Tiba, Coach Tiba, Coach Atiba De Leon. And I get accustomed to that now.
Yeah.
I mean, you have coached Chris at Bishop's High School. I mean, tell me about Chris.
Discipline, hardworking, a young man that you don't have to tell to train. You know, he actually wants to train more than you want to be on the court training him. Someone who's dedicated to the sport, dedicated to the process and the work. He doesn't complain, very coachable. And hence the reason why, because he have a good balance and, from my knowledge, a good foundation. Even at his graduation, he would have been the most outstanding or best all-round student.
Right.
The award he got. Because and that is not only basketball, but balancing his schoolwork as well. So he's one of the young men that I had made my job easier and I had little to no work to do, you know.
and this opportunity for Chris, I'm sure that we have others in Tobago that, I mean, possess the skills and the knowledge of basketball and want to take their game to the NBA.
Right.
What does it mean for Tobago with Chris's involvement in this camp?
What it does is put a spotlight on us in Tobago, as in, so I'll give you some information, as in Friday, next week Friday, we have another player from our Bishop's High School, which is Michael Smith. He'll be going to the US to play.
As a captain of your team? He's captain, right? Okay.
Right. Chris is actually captain on all the teams.
All the teams, okay.
Right, but he's one of the co-captains.
Right.
Right, so he'll be going to Atlanta to play AAU tournament.
Right.
And then next month we have another player who will be actually migrating to Spain to play in a professional academy.
When I say migrate to Spain, he's leaving Tobago.
Leaving Tobago.
Right. So he's a secondary school player as well?
Secondary school player, which is Jelani Carrington.
And through Bishop's High School?
Through Bishop's High School as well. So what it has done is it basically put a spotlight on Tobago. It actually have coaches, because as we speak now, one of my key component with Bishops and even with Elite Eagles is Kerry Celestine. He's currently in the US, and right now we're building some network, building some connection. A lot of people are looking to Tobago now, and Trinidad and Tobago on a whole, to scout players. So normally people scout players from Trinidad, now they are coming to Tobago. You know, so it's one of those unique opportunities that we have.
So what do you believe is the key to the success of your program? Because you would have coached Bishop's High School to success in Trinidad this year. Yes, it was this year, right? Yeah. It was this year, on the 20.
Yes.
Matched by Scarborough Secondary. Remember, it isn't Scarborough Secondary, he was dominating basketball. I was on the team, but on the bench. But you know, what has been the key to success for you and your program?
For me and my program, I think I have to give credit to my day-to-day job, which is being a police officer. And what happens is...
You can't mess around at all.
I don't give blights. I don't give room to wiggle. And from that military background, I actually bring some of that to my program at Bishop's High School. So as I always tell people, the biggest accomplishment I have is that I've never had a student or a past student involved in any form of crime. Not even the accolades or whatever, but more than anything else is disciplined young men, well-mannered young men, well put together citizens. And that is basically my ingredient right there. That is my secret ingredient right there.
and Chris, I mean, others are jumping to football and track and field. I mean, why basketball?
I started basketball back in first form, and at first I was playing football actually.
Football? Oh,
I was playing football.
Playing strikers, playing strike.
Yeah.
But they realized you didn't score no goals. So you still let me try basketball.
Nah, so back in first form, Kerry Celestine actually was my PE teacher at Bishop.
Right, big up Kerry, big up Kerry.
So at that term we were doing basketball in PE, and like I don't know what you see or what, but they pulled me aside and said that his club is having training. I think it was a Friday.
Right.
And he said, if I'm not there in that training, the next time we have PE class, I'll have 100 push-ups. So I just went. Most of my friends were playing basketball, so I fit in easily. I just started playing and developed a love for the game.
Yeah. What about this? What about basketball you really love? And while you answer that, do you see yourself in the NBA somewhere down the road?
Yes, and basketball, I don't know what it is, but it just hard to explain the love for the game, but it's just like a good experience. It gives me the opportunity, as with most sports, to go new places that I just did, to meet new people, and just to, I don't know, give me opportunity.
I know that you have graduated Bishop's High School, and of course, Tiba mentioned that you got honor. You got honors in terms of an all-round student. What's next for Chris Roberts?
I want to continue my studies. I may do a year 6th form before I go to college. Just to continue working on my game, develop my game, get to a higher level, and just to continue getting more opportunities and taking advantage of it.
So, and if not basketball, what career do you want to venture into?
I want to go into business.
Want to go into business?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody tell nothing about your hair, right, in school? I was just checking over. Just checking. Tiba, you know, as you look to wrap, I'm told that you have a program coming up as well, a summer program.
Yeah.
But it's not summer in Trinidad and Tobago, right? But people like to call it summer.
Yes.
But a vacation program, right?
Vacation.
Tell me about that program you guys have.
Right. So Elite Eagles, we have summer camp from the 11th of, which is next week, right, for the whole summer.
Yeah.
Like $400.
Right.
To register. We have from age 0.
You're taking them from the time they come out.
Yes.
I love that.
Right, from age 0, go right up, right? We go until the 17th.
Yeah.
And then we have next weekend, we actually have some games with our senior players. 2 clubs from Trinidad actually coming up to players next weekend. So we have this summer program, and then we also have some games and so forth.
And this is all at Shaw Park Hardcourt,
At Shaw Park Hardcourt.
Yeah, and I want to really heap praises on yourself and Kerry Celestine. I've passed them many days in Shaw Park, and Kerry, I mean, blazing sun, have them guys going through their paces, and you know it's really important that we have, you know, we expose all our youngsters to different sporting disciplines, whether it's football, basketball, cricket. I played basketball before cricket, and I really love basketball. And Kerry, a UTT scholarship winner. And he's now back in Tobago developing basketballers like Chris and the others and yourself, Tiba. You guys are doing wonderful work. Keep it up. And of course, let's keep tuning out basketballers and other sportmen and women in Tobago. Guys, thank you so much for being with us here on the sporting segment of the Tobago Updates Television. It has been my pleasure. Remember, we're going to be with James Saunders next week talking CPL cricket. I think we're going to throw it over now to Canlissa and GMT. Enjoy yourself this weekend. And of course, be safe. Take a break and come right back.
If you're a mango lover, where I'm at today is the place you want to be. It's Mango Everything, the 2nd annual Mango Festival put on by the Moravian Churches of Tobago. And we're talking about mango meals, mango-infused snacks, drinks, and desserts. Trust me, it's going to be a delight.
Yes, woo, Olia, I like Julie mango, I like ice cream mango, starch mango. What else is that? I love mango. So mango season is one of my favorite seasons when it comes to the kinds of fruits that we have on the island.
Mango in Tobago is in local parlance, in knocking dog. It wasting plentifully. So, you know, we decided, listen, let's take this fruit and developing into something really excellent products.
I got some mango everything. Mango jam, mango cheese, mango bread. That is good.
At Buku last year, we had a prayer and fast. And during that time, God really spoke to us to use mango, as simple as that, right? And he just showed us ways in which you can do it. And persons got on board with this thing, and they were saying, hey, Rev, I could do so, I could... And the idea just mushroomed from there.
We have mango cupcakes, we have mango chow, we have mango sauce. Should I say, unfortunately, the bread went first, and that was the dot oven bread, mango bread, and it went first.
It's very unique, a very unique event, I see they have the Coachella. I come to buy the Coachella. I see they have all kind of fudge and all kind of things here. So I'm trying everything.
I bought for myself some mango cupcake, mango cheesecake. I saw the pepper sauce. I can't eat pepper sauce, but it's very interesting to see, that mix of flavors. I see mango chutney. It's really great to have this, not just have the mango wasting.
Of course, we had some the mango chutney. It was quite impressive. So we're going to have some conversation with some of the persons to see how best we could showcase some of their products. Definitely we're going to be partnering with these type of initiatives because the idea is to have all indigenous products at the food hub.
Tobagonians are really talented. So from this, people can now go into their own business. Yeah? So we want to also let people see, listen, I could do more than just eat a ripe mango. I can turn it into a fudge, into jam, into ice cream, and have a business on that.
And as you can see, the crowd is enjoying the entertainment here. It's more than just food at Everything Mango. I mean, we have mango-infused meals, but we have great entertainment as well. We had a lot of good, wonderful company and people passing through supporting the event. It's the second time around Everything Mango, brought to you by the Buku Moravian Churches of Tobago.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candace and Denasia.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power. We are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers. We are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we stronger.
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad, and the region. With the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine, I am Candace Jackson, and let's get started with the news in 90 seconds. Secretary of Infrastructure, Quarries, and Urban Development, Trevor James, accused the Environment Management Agency of acting as an agent in a political war. Speaking on last night's full disclosure, James was suspicious of the EMA's attempt to stop a road construction project from Servant Junction due to environmental concerns. According to James, it is an attempt to set a precedent that may hinder the progress of the Scarborough redevelopment project. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Education released a national code for hairstyles across all schools in Trinidad and Tobago. The code follows an incident at Trinity College where several male students were prevented from attending their graduation ceremony due to their hairstyles. According to a press release, the ministry stated that following research and discussions, they amended the National School Code of Conduct to include a National School Hair Code. It allows all students to wear locks, twists, plaits, afros, and cornrow hairstyles. Additionally, female students have permission to wear hair extensions, including weaves and braids. And finally, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley was appointed to lead a CARICOM subcommittee on cricket in the West Indies. This recent development came after the men's West Indies team failed to qualify for the ICC World Cup for the first time in history. Rowley, who declared himself a passionate West Indies fan, said the decline of West Indies cricket captured the attention of CARICOM. Chairman of CARICOM and Prime Minister of Dominica, Roosevelt Skerritt, stated that the subcommittee was tasked with meeting the WICB president and devising a plan to restore West Indies cricket to its former glory. And that was the news in 90 seconds.
The news in 90 seconds is brought to you by Flow, working for you on Tobago's newest fiber network.
Tobago, after freeness is more speed and better TV. Get a free Samsung smartphone and free installation, plus 200 megabits per second, Paramount Plus, and more for only $299 with a select 200 plan from Flow. Visit online at discoverflow.co today.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. Well, viewers, while things are heating up here in the politics here in Tobago, there's a lot of fight happening down in Trinidad as well, as we are preparing for local government elections in Trinidad. So to just give us an idea of some of the things that are happening within that political space, we are being joined right now by Mr. Clyde Weatherhead of the UNC. Good morning and welcome to you, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning, ma'am. Let me make it clear, I have nothing to do with UNC, ma'am.
Sorry about that, sir. All right, so give me your
as a matter of fact, since 2017, I have no affiliation with any political party in this country.
All right, I stand corrected. No, give us your idea what's been happening in terms of the local government elections, where these allegations of bribery to cross the floor and so on are happening within the space.
Well, it's a lot of noise about a lot of things that have nothing to do with local government. First of all, we are being told by the ruling party in the parliament and in the cabinet and government that this election is about local government reform. Well, in 2019, they told us the same thing. But local government reform is not going to be carried out by anybody who is going to be elected on the 14th of August. There is an act of parliament to deal with local government reform. It was passed last year. And as the Prime Minister said in his meeting in St. James recently, that for 3 years now they're working on local government reform, meaning his cabinet and his government. So local government councillors and aldermen cannot implement an act of parliament. They cannot get the president to proclaim other parts of the act, because you know what happened when the matter reached to the Privy Council. The act was passed and it was supposed to be brought into force by proclamation, which means that the president would be told by cabinet which sections of the act had to be brought into operation. And they brought sections 11 and 12 into operation simply to extend the term of the sitting councillors and aldermen from 3 years to 4 years. The Privy Council ruled that that was illegal and they had to call an election. So the election was set for the 14th of August. Now that act is an act of parliament. It is not some policy of some regional corporation somewhere. So it has to be implemented by the cabinet and the government. So that what else of that act is going to be proclaimed, no councillor, no alderman, no corporation is going to decide that. That is cabinet's business. The former AG was made the local government minister, and he is in charge of implementing local government reform. The other aspect of the reform, because that act that was passed amended several acts, including the Property Tax Act. And by that amendment, property tax will not go to the consolidated fund, which is basically the pool of money that the government has, that where it collects taxes and so on. They all go into that fund, and is disbursed out of that through the budget. So property tax will now go to the regional corporations. And again, the Prime Minister and the leader of the PNM is saying, well, we boasting, we giving this money to help the corporations have a steady income and so on and so on. But when the Property Tax Act was first passed in 2009, the money from property tax was all going into the consolidated fund. It wasn't going anywhere near local government. At that time, I was a member of the COP, and I know that when we analyzed that bill and we criticized the property tax, one of our criticisms was that that tax should be going to local government.
Now, based on the legislation
The government
that we
never
have
amended
now,
that until last year. Yes, sir.
so based on the legislation that we have now, are you seeing any difference? Are you confident that that money collected from the property tax regime will in fact go to local governments?
Yes, it will because of the amendment last year. But that amendment cannot happen in terms of it cannot go to any corporation until there are new rules and the tax can be collected from the persons who have property which is domestic or in that sense it is not commercial, it is not industrial property, no farming property, it is where you live. So that portion of the property tax will go to the local government. But at the moment, it cannot go anywhere because it cannot be collected until the new rules are set up. And the court had ruled that for the new rules to become effective, they have to have valuations done for 50% of the properties. And the Minister of Finance says that has been done. But at the moment, I have not received any valuation notice. I have not received any notice according to the law as to what my tax ought to be, so I can accept it or challenge it. And no other person has received that. So when exactly that will happen, we don't know.
Now, and in terms of some of the issues, I mean, are we hearing enough about those issues or the changes that are going to come with the new local government legislation? Are we hearing enough of that from the parties contesting the race and from the political platform?
Well, definitely no, because the government, the Prime Minister and the leader of the PNM, when he spoke in St. James, he said, well, listen, you see tonight, I'm not talking about local government reform. There are other people contesting this election and are going to start hitting them bois tonight. And he spent almost his entire speech attacking the leader of the NTA, Gary Griffith. And because he says people have to know about Griffith. Griffith is not a candidate in local government election. So what is his point? And well, of course, I haven't heard the UNC talk about anything different. The leader of the opposition and the leader of the UNC at a meeting this week on Monday night went on and on about the PNM and this and that and what the Prime Minister said. And so the real issue of local government is not an issue in this election yet. I hope it might become so by the 14th of August, but I'm not too sure.
Now, if this is how the campaign started, are we going to see even any change to the voter turnout? Because local government elections traditionally has a lower voter turnout than any of the other elections within our country. And it is a situation right now where we are trying to move from what exists to a greater responsibility from local government within the regional corporations and boroughs and so on. So are we seeing on the ground, are we seeing anything that would attract a higher voter turnout?
Well, I at this moment, there's nothing like that because the only thing I'm seeing is that in my community here, there hasn't been a set of mics up and down yet, but I'm told in Central, in some areas, every day is the PNM UNC mic up and down the place. What I've seen here is people in red jerseys coming around to every house canvassing. But I haven't seen the candidate, although he's a sitting councillor. I usually see him either when there is an election or possibly Christmas time. But other than that, I don't know. I don't see my counselor really. The point is that in this election, we have been fed a falsehood that this is about local government reform. And that reform is something that the central government has to implement because the law is already there. So we have 373 candidates, and of that, 141 councillors are going to be elected. And because of the change that was made in 2013 to the Municipal Corporations Act and the electoral law, the aldermen are going to be selected based on lists that have already been provided to the EBC on nomination day, based on how many votes the candidates get in the respective corporations. So you have 373 people vying for 141 posts. What people should be focusing on is who is the best of the candidates in my area to represent me. You can't focus on local government reform. That is already there. The law is there and the government has to implement that. You're not electing anybody to tell the president when to proclaim anything. No councillor or anybody does that except the government. So what you are electing is a representative for you, for your area, on the municipal corporation. And if there are 3 candidates in your area or 2, you have to decide of those 2 or 3 who is the best. And you can't decide that based on political leaders of parties attacking one another and raising issues that have nothing to do with local government. So the candidates need to come out here and talk to us, tell us what are their plans, what are their qualifications to represent us, what is their history, so that we can choose among the candidates.
No, I mean, while you say that people should choose based on who can best represent the municipal corporations and so on, we have the issue of race, unfortunately, rearing its ugly head, as unfortunately it does in Trinidad. I mean, is there any signal or any sign that we are moving past having race being a deciding factor within our politics?
Well, I don't subscribe to the view that race is a deciding factor in our politics. I don't subscribe to this notion that there's an African party and an Indian party. That is nonsense that is used to divide the population. What I'm concerned about is the Prime Minister of this country getting on his political party platform in St. James and telling the country that the Parliament could possibly pass a law that will provide guns to one ethnicity to kill people of another ethnicity. I think he's bordering on sedition by those statements he made that night. You can't, first of all, Parliament does not pass a law about any particular person or group of persons. That is what you call ad hominem law. And that does not happen. Secondly, he is given an interpretation to a proposed policy from his opposing party. And it is not law, it is not even a bill in Parliament, it is nowhere being discussed except on the platform. And he comes and says, here's an example of what this stand your ground law kind of thing can do. If a ball comes into your yard and is a child's ball and the mother comes in the yard, you could shoot the mother because you might say, well, she's coming in my yard to do me something. Now, we have had no history of anything like that. That is what happened in America, where white racists might shoot a black child because they say, oh, he walking down the road, he approaching my house, and I fearful, so I shoot him. That is not our experience. That is not our history. And what the Prime Minister did that night was attempt to introduce the notion that the 2 major ethnicities in this country, and in particular in Trinidad, should be fighting one another. And that is what, in the Sedition Act, which comes from 1920, is part of the definition of sedition in terms of pitting one section of the population against another. So I think that is completely wrong. It has to be condemned by everyone. And it does not have a single thing to do with local government. It has to do with the nasty politics that emanates from the platforms of both the red and yellow parties. And that, as citizens, we need to reject all of that.
And as you mentioned, the crime situation, are we sufficiently addressing it from a political standpoint? Because I mean, every day when you look at the newspapers and you look at the headlines, there's so much gruesome criminal acts being committed out there, but we're not seeming to get to the heart of why it is happening and actively doing something to stem it, mitigate it in some kind of way.
Well, let me start from what is our right as citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Our right is to have safety and security, and we have, according to our constitution, a right to life. And who guarantees our rights? Who protects our rights? It is supposed to be the government of the country. So when they tell us that crime is a problem and it's all of us deal with it and so on, but when you're talking about, well, the US say they're going to help stop the flow of guns into the Caribbean, you're not saying it's all of us get the US to do that, it's the government getting out. So they play both sides of that story. And the reality is, as I mentioned on Facebook last night, we have crossed 10,000 murders since 1994. We are over 9,300 murders since 2000. And before 2000, we did not experience in this country 200 murders a year. But every year since 2000, we have had more than 200 murders a year. So all who have been talking all these years about they have crime plans, they put it in the manifesto, and then they turn around and say, well, it's now we to fight crime. But you put it in a manifesto to get elected to government, and then you say it's not our responsibility. Well, it is the government's responsibility. The guaranteeing of my right as a citizen, the protection of my right, is the business of the government. And they have failed miserably. For this year alone, we have just crossed 300 murders yesterday. That is what is going on. And you can't talk that as though, well, the citizens need to be vigilant and protect themselves, and then you're against stand your ground. And I mean, where you're really going with all of this? Then you go on a platform and you're up and down the place about how many licenses were issued to citizens, and that is militarizing the society. But you're talking about local government and increasing municipal police. Militarizing society is not about if a citizen have a gun, It is about imposing police police powers on the society, either using the police or the army or both. And we've had joint police army patrols in this country since the 1980s. And it has not stopped anything. Nothing that has been done has reduced the murder rate. Our present commissioner of police said by June she's going to reduce the murder rate. Well, I didn't know if it was June 1 or June 30th, but either way, she has not done it. We have had 300 murders for the year so far this year as of yesterday, which is almost exactly half the year. And last year we had 600 plus, which was a new ghastly record, and it seems that we are on the way to equaling or surpassing that this year. Where are we safe? We're not safe in our homes. We're not safe on the street. The last murder yesterday is a man sitting in his car, and somebody come and shoot him up, and that's the end of him.
Yeah.
So right here in my community, in Trinity Mall, a man is in his car, in the car park, and they come and they execute him. So where is our safety?
No.
Where is it? It has not happened for 20 years.
I know, as we're on that topic of crime, and I need to bring this into the conversation. Now, in April, we had that CARICOM symposium about using public health, considering crime as a public health issue. And one of the things coming out of that was the need to appeal to the U.S. to monitor their borders to ensure that guns don't leave their borders, because of course we don't produce guns in the Caribbean, and our leaders determined that the guns are coming from the U.S. It again showed up at this meeting that took place, these meetings that took place over the past couple of days here in Trinidad, in regard as the CARICOM met for their 45th assembly. But is that going to be effective? Is approaching the U.S., getting that commitment from the U.S. to monitor the exportation of guns from their borders, is that going to be effective towards reducing the levels of crime that we are seeing, especially here in Trinidad?
Well, I doubt it very much. The reason is, when was it, last week?
Yes.
There was another mass shooting, and how many people were killed simply because they were enjoying themselves at a function and somebody decided to shoot them up. The mass killings in the US has not declined in the last several years, even with changes of administration. And the US manufacturing guns, those guns are being exported all over the world, and they're exporting more than guns. In fact, the whole military industrial complex is now fueling a war in Europe, in terms of Ukraine and Russia war, and they're gearing up all the military hardware in the Pacific Ocean with Australia and so on, threatening China, and they're establishing new bases in Latin America and so on. So even if those guns don't come directly through sellers in the United States, they will find their way here, and because that's where the guns are coming from. The problem is, we were told that 2 OPVs was going to stop guns from coming in the country. Now we are told by the National Security Minister and the government that really the guns coming through the legal ports. And so where are they? What is being done to stop it in our own country to prevent the guns from coming in? America will talk anything. They will say anything. What is the measure they put in place? At the moment, they said, according to Secretary Blinken, when he spoke here in Trinidad the other day, he said, well, we have an experienced prosecutor who we're making available to the Caribbean. We passed a law to deal with gun crimes in the States and so on. But that law cannot be effective when mass murders are taking place in the US. And I'm not too sure that this so-called war on guns, as the CARICOM chairman described it, that is going to be any more successful than the so-called war on drugs, which has failed miserably over decades now.
And coming back home to the local government elections, can the new administration, I would say, of the whoever fills that seat, whoever leads the local government in whatever municipal district and so on, would they be in any kind of a position to make a difference with the crime situation that we are facing?
Well, the only thing I'm hearing from the local government minister and the government platform is that we are going to increase the municipal police. That is how we're going to fight crime in the municipalities. So we've had more police and more police. Our police force has been swelling and swelling over the years. We've had joint army police patrols since 1980 something under the NAR, and none of that has deterred the crime. In fact, it keeps getting worse. So the corporations, merely by having more municipal police, that is militarizing the society, and that is not going to bring any stop to the crime. The issue is, we have, as the Prime Minister said, we have refused to deal with this issue 2 decades or 3 decades ago, when it was now beginning to develop. And at this point in time, there has to be a whole set of different activities done to be able to roll back this crime wave in this country. Municipal corporations, just like that with more police, is not going to do it.
Now,
in any case, as I said just now, nothing is going to happen with those corporations unless the law, the rest of the act, is proclaimed. because the only thing they proclaimed last year was to extend the term of office for the incumbents by up to 4 years, which, by the way, is what the new elected people will be there for 4 years. But unless the rest of that act is proclaimed, how are they going to have any new function or any new power or any new accountability in the regional corporation?
And then that also speaks to what can be done in terms of some of the climate change issues that we are facing here in the country. I mean, we're seeing it constantly every time there's some adverse weather condition. The floods and so on are getting worse. And the regional corporations, they are constantly complaining that they are under-resourced, underfunded to treat with all the issues that they need to treat with to take care of the people in the community.
Well, what the solution to that, we are told, is property tax. So that will give them a steady stream of income and so on. And the LG minister who said, "Don't call me AG again, call me LG." He's been on the platform talking about how much millions this is going to mean to every corporation and so on. Well, you tell me, why is it that streets in my area and streets are being paved, and I saw up to this morning a post on Facebook that some people said donkey years the street need paving and is only now. So I mean, we in this old nonsense politics that vote for the government candidate because we paving your street. In fact, the last local government election on my whole avenue in Twin City, only my street was paved. So I was getting worried as my neighbors would start saying, "Man, you're supporting the PNM now." Like they come and they pave your street. No, but it is ridiculous. Why is it only possible a few weeks before election that street paving is taking place, which has been neglected for years? And that kind of nonsense is long time politics. That is old time politics. And we're being lied to and told, well, if you vote in this local government election, you're voting for local government reform. You're not voting for no reform. There's an act there that the cabinet has to implement. That is what is happening. So what you're voting for, I keep saying to people, you have to vote. Of all the candidates that you never chose who is the candidate, the parties choose and you have no say in it. But of all those who are in your district, you have to select who you think can best represent you. That is the only option at this time in this election.
And do you think that the people on the ground, do you think that they care? Do you think that they are paying attention to what the real issues are? Or is it that they're just going to, just watch from a distance and be like, government come, government go, it's going to be the same old thing?
Well, that notion of who comes and who goes and is the same old story, I think that has led to the low voter turnout in local government elections over the years. I see people basically complaining now about, don't come on mama guy, me by paving a road or fixing a drain or putting a new standpipe. That is long time standpipe politics. I think people are beginning to reject that. Of course, there are people who are saying, well, I had a vote from a party. They may not even know who the candidate is. After people in office almost 4 years now, and people don't know who the councillor is, who voted for that person. Some people in that district voted for them. But you don't know who they are after they've been in office. How are you going to know who they are on the 14th of August after nomination recently? So unless the candidates come, tell the people who they are, what they are about, what their plans are, and people assess them on those things, then we're going to have the same old nonsense over and over again.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much, Mr. Clyde Weatherhead, for joining us this morning and giving us a perspective on all that's happening, especially with the local government election, what's been happening nationally with crime, major issues that are facing us here in Trinidad and in Tobago, because of course what happens in Trinidad affects us here in Tobago. So thank you again for joining us.
Sure, welcome, and next time maybe we could talk about Trinidad and Tobago and that relationship that we have not made correct
Yes.
since independence.
Certainly. All right. So, yes, so we will be connected with you again sometime very soon to discuss some of those other features. All right, well, viewers, like I said, it's been a pleasure being with you this morning. We've had a really exciting week here in Tobago, and we are looking forward to what's coming in the next few weeks. We're following, like I said, we're following what's happening with the local government elections, because that's really important. We had, CARICOM meeting in Trinidad celebrating the 50th anniversary of CARICOM. And what's interesting about that as well is that, even though that we're celebrating CARICOM and there's all that talk about greater inter-Caribbean, interregional connectivity and so on, that message doesn't seem to be meeting down to the man on the ground. You're not seeing from the people that gravitation towards, recognizing that we are one Caribbean and so on. It seems as though it's the level of talks are remaining at the leader level. So, they made some commitments this week as to improving the relations and the connectivity and, putting the CSME together in a firmer way. But it's left to be seen how that would be implemented, how that would be fulfilled in the near, not too distant future. All right, viewers, I want to thank you again for joining us. Again, it was a pleasure. And remember to stay connected to Tobago Updates for all the latest information. And if you haven't gotten Amplia yet, you need to get it, because we are broadcasting 24-hour content on channel 102 only on Amplia. So if you want to get a full showing of Tobago content, you're going to want to get connected with Amplia. All right, again, so have a safe and wonderful day, and we will see you again on Monday.
Passion start to